Okay, this is a quick tag on what I've been doing lately. So, K&F Concepts sent me an adapter, and it's for an M42 to Nikon Z. I just lost the thing to tighten this with. I have to look for it. But anyway, so this is mounted on the Nikon, and then the screw-in adapter for the M lens will go here. Okay. I'm still waiting for the lens. It is, gosh, in customs. So there's two customs. One is, I think, in Europe and one in the United States. So it goes from one place to the other. It has been shipped, but I'm supposed to get it sometime next week, supposedly. And where did I lose that thing? I can't. Yeah, I found it. Look at this Allen wrench. Okay, so I got a brush with it. I guess it's for the lens. I don't know. It didn't come with the instructions. But, okay. I have no idea. And then this might be for the lens to adjust. Unless it goes in there. I have no idea. So I have to look at it. But this is for the Nikon Z. I got one for the Sony. And that's supposed to be coming anytime. The only way I'm going to find out that they deliver it is the day that they're delivering it. So that one for Sony, I'm still waiting for. And then I'll get the lens. And eBay, which I bought it from, keeps sending me, says, hey, do a review. Well, I can't do a review unless I get the lens for the different cameras. So I'm going to try this with the Nikon cameras that I have when I get the lens. And what I'm getting is the Brussels Pre and won an award. The 28 millimeter, 37 millimeter f2.8, and it has Surly bokeh for the background, sharp images. It's Russian made. I think it's an earlier one. It wasn't at the MKD plant, whatever, which is good. It's supposed to have radioactive coatings on the lens. And you get radioactive from a keyboard and stuff like that. So nothing serious, but that's what I'm waiting for. And the other thing is I wanted to show a little bit more about the Canon system. So I have two dummy batteries, all right? One for the R6 II, one for the R5C. This is plugged into this adapter. And the nice thing about it is, you know, if I get the M6 II out of the car, because I got the dummy battery hooked up to it, I can unplug that. Well, actually it's in the trunk of my car, but I got the other power adapter inside the cab. But with that camera, you just plug this in to this device, and this is for a USB-C power bank. This cable right here works for Sony and Canon cameras. It does not work with Nikon. That's the problem with Nikon is you got to get the adapter in order to run it off a dummy battery. And I think I have something else for that. But anyway, all I have to do is just unhook that. Since I already have a dummy battery in, I'm going to turn this on. That way you can see it. And they fixed where I used to have to unplug it and plug it back in for the power. They fix it on the firmware update, so watch this. I just turn it on, and it comes on automatically. Isn't that neat? And I can do this, I guess. Bring it a little bit closer to right there. That should be sharp. But I can turn it off. And I can turn it on. So just by turning on and off, okay, that's okay, but it's now in stills mode. So they corrected that, whereas before, every time I turn it off, I have to unplug it and plug it back in. So that's fixed. And you can see ISO 400, f2.8. So I turn it off. Now, I'm going to hook it from the power, AC power. I'm going to hook it up to this cable, to the power bank. And it has a USB-C out. It's a 99 watt, I think, on this one. And you can see it's working. It has 4 lights. And with these batteries in Sony, it's like a trickle-down charge, okay? So they give you like so many minutes. They say, oh, it only lasts for 20 minutes or something like that. Actually, it'll last for about an hour, okay? Then you just turn it off, turn it back on, and everything's fine. It just resets everything. The only thing with the power banks, they do drain the battery. So I usually, when I bring it back in and unplug it, and then plug it into this right here. Okay. So, long story short, I don't like using the cable. What do you stick on? Okay, there we go. Alright, forgot it was under there. So, I don't like charging the regular camera batteries, you know, in and out, because it wears down the batteries after a while. And after a year, it doesn't hold the same charge. So, I usually use dummy batteries when I go on a shoot. And it works fine. The only thing I have to charge is a power bank, and you can always get another power bank. The batteries are pretty expensive. So this way, I don't have to worry about changing out batteries. I can go on a shoot. Just make sure you have a lot of space on your card. I'm going to show you that. This is the other thing. So these ProMaster Velocities were giving trouble to my Nikon Z6 III. Not when it's stationary like this, but when I was moving around videoing, somehow the buffer had a problem writing to the disk, or so, and the camera froze. And the only way to unfreeze it, because I could turn knobs, try to turn it off, it wouldn't do it. I had to pop the battery out. These worked on any other Nikon camera or this Canon. This is the only Canon I have that has a CF Express card. This one does have the Type B, and then of course an SD card, which I got a V90 right here, 300. They're good cards, all right. You can use one or the other, but just to show you, it's on. If I put it on video, and you see it's working. That's important to me. So before I had to do an extra step, now I don't have to do it anymore. I just turn it off when I want to. The only thing is, if you turn it off, okay, everything's fine, this stays on. So still keeping the charge to the camera. All right? So what I usually do is this. Just take it off of here. And I'll plug this into here. Okay, now you can see the power go on. And this will eventually disappear. And I'll just unhook it. And it'll go off in about a minute or so. I mean, I could do this, I think. Yeah. So it's off. Okay. So that's what's been going on. I've been doing a lot of tests with the R5C because it has a fan built into it. And what I like about it, I've been looking at other fans like for the A6700 ZVE1, and they got a neat one where it's back here, and then if you have to close the mount, it folds down, you slide it out, you close it, and then it can close like this. Now, I think that's pretty neat, you know, to keep the camera cool. But I like this setup better. This is more robust than the FX30. And, you know, the new Canon R5C has that hand grip that can take 2 batteries, but then it also has a fan cooling. And then that fan blows the air through the camera and then out. That'll work. Okay. This one, the fan is there, so it blows out this. On the with the S5 II and the S5 IIX, their fan is smaller, but they got, you know, like right around the viewfinders where the air comes out. But I like the feature. It's real hot here in San Antonio, and then in the studio, I got to run the air conditioner at 78, and this room will get up to 80 degrees. But if I don't do that, if I run it like at regular 84 degrees, these cameras will overheat and turn off. Best stellar one is the Z6 II. Never had a problem with that for overheating. I've had problems with I could say the focusing part. You could have it for a certain thing, but if you do tracking or whatever, it may go to something else. So a few things where you want to focus on something and it focuses on a branch or something else. So that's the only thing. But I got the Z6 III. It's a great camera. Let me go back over here. It's just a catch-up of what I'm doing. So I was using the ZFC with the 12 to 28 millimeter. So that's like an 18, I think it's 28, yeah. Yeah, 18 to 42. It used to be 18 to 35, or you could get a 16 to 35, which I have on the Z9 now. So I forgot I had that 16 to 35 f4 with the FTZ2 adapter, and I'm going to be trying that one out. And this is still a great camera. Never overheats, never shuts down. You just get the right lighting. And let's see, I can go to this one, which is my Z50. Still a great camera. All right. With the new updates, they're shutting down the cameras quicker, I guess, for overheating. Whereas the old update, it never did. It's something to do with security reasons. But then they added a few features that they sneaked up on, where I noticed that the cameras aren't lasting as long. So you just got to make sure the room is cool enough. So I just turn on the air conditioning because I leave it at 84. It stays pretty cool during at night when I'm sleeping. And then when I wake up, it's like 84. And then if it's too warm, the air conditioner will come on and keep it at 84. My electricity and gas bill goes down quite a bit. So instead of paying like $500, $400, a month at 78, I usually do it from 80 if I'm up to 84 at night. And that way I only pay about $200 a month. Why don't you get solar panels? Well, you're still paying for solar panels. So they'll put it on for free, but you're paying for a lot of things. So they're going to build on top of your new shingled roof. You have to have another thing to store the power that you generate. Yes, if you give it back to the city, all right, they take that off of your bill. But in the long run, after 10 years, you're going to have to recharge or change out the solar panels, maybe the battery, of course. Look at your rechargeable here for your alarm system. It lasts for maybe up to 5 to 7 years, and then you have to get another battery to replace that. And then you got to reset your alarm system. So, long story short, I'm talking to where no puppy has come in. I'll use the Z5 to close this out. Doing all this ranting and talking. I'm going to do some things on the R5C, R6 II. Show the difference. I've noticed that on the video part, the R5C is a totally different animal. It's on the kind of like the C70, the C400 that just came out. The video line, cinema cameras. So they have that type of menu. I'm still learning about the different functions it can do, and it has a lot of features for the video. They fixed the on and off switch, which I like. I have to get used to the autofocusing because there's one for individual, eyes, face, recognition, all that stuff. But then you have to change different things, different subjects. And that's a different part of the menu. They don't have it one right after the other. Sony does that too. And that's disturbing. But with Nikon, the difference is that the major difference I've noticed is between Nikon and Canon. Nikon has two settings, one for video and one for stills. And if you like a look, you have to do it in both settings. They do have a feature now where you can copy the photo settings. So if you just change the photo settings, it'll work on the video up to a point. And, like the white balance, I don't know about the shutter speed. But anyway, I've been dealing with that on the Z9. And so when you have a lot of camera systems like I do, you forget if you haven't used them for a while. So I like going around using them. I just used the Sony A7C. I have not put any footage up because Peter Gregg was talking about the GyroFlow, and I'm seeing more things about that. It's an interesting program, but it crops pretty much. You can match it with the Catalyst Browse, and I could get more footage of the Catalyst Browse, but you can still reduce the shaking and stuff. The only thing I don't like about the GyroFlow is they got some settings with the A7C, but only with the 28 to 60 lens. If you want to put a prime or something on there, then you have to create your own data. The only problem is when I try to save the data, it won't let me. So they got an update to that. They got a new update to Catalyst Browse. And I think if you do update to that version, then they want you to pay for it. So anyway, I don't like using software. I don't like, Final Cut Pro or... I'll just do the 10-bit H.265 422. I'm happy with the colors. I'll pick either landscape, neutral, natural. I like those type. I like clarity. I like sharpness. I'm not much into bokeh, but when it calls for it, I'll use it. I like the clarity all the way through, so I usually stop mine up from 5.6 on up. I've gone to f22, like on this R5C, no problem. Everything looks fantastic. I did a video yesterday on that, and just by vlogging, I showed the different stabilizations, the cropping, and it's funny because I cropped at the beginning. In fact, I shot a video in the backyard, and that clip, the only problem I have with the R5C, you hit the front button and sometimes you do a double and it's not recording. And if you can't really see the LCD screen in the sunlight, I turn off the tally lights because some people while driving at night unnerves them. So if I turn off the tally light in front and in the back, it's less lighting. They don't see the red light. I don't want to cause any accidents. So I like testing out the cameras, testing out the low light performance, the heat issues, and basically the performance of the camera. See if I can set it to my liking. I put out my 2 new lights for my laptop area. I am thinking of moving this computer and this monitor away from this room because I use Samsung TV Plus to watch TV over the internet. And this TV can do 120 hertz. I got a RTX 47 Ti. I don't know if it's super. It might be just a Ti. I got the other one that's I think a super, just a 4070 super in the Y70. So this one, I replaced my i7 7700K with the AMD 7800X 3D. I got 32 gigs of RAM, and I mean, it's almost 10 across the board. I think the slowest part is the SSD drive. And the processor, I think it's like a 9.4, 9.5. So it's not the top, but you don't need, if you have a good graphics card, a pretty good processor, you're not going to have any difficulty. And you need a bare minimum of a 3060, I should say a 3080 Ti, 3090, or a 4070 Super, maybe a 4070, I don't know. But they're just like the 3080 Ti. Okay. It used to be where you get a 2080, then you get a 3070 or 3070 Ti to replace that 2080. They started doing the Supers and the Ti's, and oh well. Long story short, that's ran over. This is what I'm going to do. Do some work on the R5C, the Z9. I got the Z6, the ZF. I'm going to do a thing on the SL2S and the Q3. They're both Leicas. One's a point and shoot. The other one, I have lenses to match the Q3, and I'm going to show the different picture qualities. I'll be showing the how it deals with. They're both full frame cameras, okay? Only the Q3 is smaller with a tinier lens, and on the SL2S, it's only like a 24.5 megapixel camera, but it's pretty good in low light. But they have bigger lenses, and I'm gonna take a look at the noise, low light. They're great in this weather. SL2S is all metal body. I think the Q3 is metal, might have brass on top and the bottom. I don't know. But I usually use the Q3 for either macro or photos. You can do video, 4K 30. I've used the 8K. I don't really need it. It's a nice feature to have for special occasions. On the SL2S, it will do 4K 60. On my A7C that I used yesterday, which I didn't post up any videos, I was just comparing the two programs, Catalyst Browse and Gyroflow. It can only go up to 4K 30, and it's missing the front dial. I was thinking of getting the A7C II, but I figured that the ZVE1 had more features. It was better for stabilization. One of the best cameras for stabilization. And of course, I haven't dealt with the A7 IV or the A7R5. I'm a Nikon guy, but I do have Sony equipment, APS-C, full frame for the other studio. I deal with 1-inch sensors, like the ZV-1 Mark II. I got the, I think it's bigger than a 1-inch sensor, the Nikon 1, 2.7 crop, whatever. And they're interchangeable lenses for either the V3 or the J5. And I got dummy batteries for every camera. So rule of thumb is less changing out of batteries, less changing out of SD cards or storage. You can continue with the shoot. And then if a camera fails, like it overheats and stuff, I got backups. I'll just grab another camera and carry on. So it's all set, ready to go. One camera fails, you pick up another one, you go and do it. When that gives out, either you go back to the original one, or if you're out of space, whatever, you grab another camera and you do it. That's the way it works. And I utilize all my cameras all the time. So on my laptop setup, MacBook Pro 14, it's an M3 Max, 36 gigabyte, 14-inch. I think I got a terabyte SD card in there. The thing I like about that, it processes very fast. So this is Studio 64. It has 64 gigs of RAM. Anything I send up through the cable, it's pretty fast. I got 1,000 up, 1,000 down. And it's rendered within 10 minutes after I post a 4K 60 video. Just in case it's not like 60 minutes, whatever, but if it's like, 10 minute below, it's instant. 10 minutes to 20 minutes, and usually I do about 20 minutes now. I don't need to do a long video anymore. It'll take about another 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's ready to post. So YouTube is doing a great job. On the M3 Max, compared to, let's say, the M1 Max Studios I have, and I have two of them, one 32 gig, one 64 gig. It's instant. So I can do like as it's loaded up through AT&T, it's just about almost finished processing. So I do notice that the rendering on that processor is much quicker. I enjoy using it. I do suggest that the battery life doesn't last as long as, let's say, an M1 MacBook Air, which I still have. I'm going to do a video also, and I know I'm ranting. I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. I'm just about finished. I'm going to do a video where I hook up 1, 2, 3, 4. I might do, where I've hooked up a lot of cameras and put it on a laptop. And I did that with an M1 MacBook Air at one time. So I might do a follow-up on that with this M3 Max MacBook. I want to move this computer, this TV out of the room. I might put a monitor in its place. I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking of getting rid of 2 other computers. And I'm downsizing. So I'm using the PCs less, going more into the Mac with YouTube content, and I never run out of ideas to do. I'm going to get more into picture taking, videos where I don't talk that much. Like I can go to the botanical gardens or to the zoo or the Chinese tea garden or to the park. I can go to the next neighborhood and look at the deer. And then with my bird bath in the front, I got a lot of wildlife too. Squirrels, um, all different types of birds. I got a cardinal that's in the backyard. I got a white-tailed dove laying an egg in the nest above, and in the front. And then I got 4 sparrows that like hanging around the house. So that's what I'm going to do. It's just tell you what's going on. And the only other problem is I'm starting to have some physical problems. I won't get into that, but I have to go and see a doctor about it. And that's it. Everything's looking good. I hope you enjoyed my rant, but loving the Z6 III. Don't care about the dynamic range. It's good enough. When I put the Z6 III in a dark room, and you could still see my glasses, when I put it in the dining room, and I turned off all the lights, and then I lit a candle, it could still see the reflection on my glasses, which I couldn't see at all on the LCD screen. But it had a box around my eye, and it was in pitch black. So in the other room, I had a light on, and it was like from a computer, LED, and that's what was showing in my glass lens. And I thought it was amazing. So I look at it this way. I'm not a wildlife shooter. I will shoot it sometimes. Not used to it. I rather shoot landscape, buildings, stuff like that. On the go movement. I'm more of a hobbyist. I'm not a real, I'm more of an enthusiast hobbyist, okay? Love my gear, even if they're different brands. I thought I'd try the Canon. I've been neglecting it. I always neglect the Sony, but when I turn it on, it still works. It works pretty good. I love the ZV-1 Mark IIs. Oh, no stabilization. Look, you just set the camera down, you step back, you talk to it. You don't have to vlog like I do on most of my cameras. I just started doing that just to show how the IBIS works and why they crop. There's 2 basic reasons why they crop. One is they don't want to show any line skipping, and the other one is the wobbly effect. And apparently the Canon R5 II, I don't know that much about the R1, but with the stack sensor, it kind of removed that. Same thing with the Z8 and the Z9. So you look at stuff like that. I think price is the thing. I thought the SL3 is a fantastic computer. It's pricey, all right? The problem with that is everybody wants the name, whatever. I might get it, I might not. I like the SL2S, but I like the S5 II, S5 IIX, but there's some cameras that I'm not using. I have too much, and I'm thinking of downsizing and getting rid of them and get some money back. So that's what I'm looking into. I love the Sigma glass. So I do have adapters where I can use the lenses on different cameras. With the L mount, you can only go to like a Nikon F. So with adapters, I can use it with the Z mount cameras. I've tried a couple of Nikon F cameras. I'm too used to the EVF and the Live View LCD screen. I'm not used to the optical viewing, which is true to life. I do a lot of things in the dark, with driving or testing cameras since there's less traffic at night. I will drive during the day to test the overheating, about that situation. And I'm talking too long, I'm sorry. But this is just tell you what's coming up. And I might just go ahead and shorten this video. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks. Have a wonderful day.